But I think also to what Trill is saying, there's balance, right? I got an uncle that grew up, and the running story in my family is nobody has ever seen him cry, but my great granddad told him real men don't cry. And so when he would get whoopings, this is the story in the family. When he would get whoopings, he never cried, right? And they would whoop him harder and whoop him harder and try and break him, and he never cried. My stepfather, now I did pick some of that up from my uncle, but my stepfather really kind of set the tone for me. My stepfather showed me how to be a man, but also be vulnerable and transparent and still maintain your position, right? So I do understand when people see me in certain spaces sometimes, like on these platforms, it's one way, but in real life, I am who I am, and I'm thankful for the brotherhood that I'm surrounded by, because I do have brothers I can go to and say, "Hey, man, I'm dealing with this, or I'm going through this," and we pour into each other
Mm.
and we hold one another down. And y'all don't know just like how important that is, man. Dudes could be at their worst and be at their breaking point, man. I didn't talk some brothers back from the edge, man. And we don't have these spaces where we allow other men to come to us and say, "Man, this hurt me," or "She did this," or "The job did this," or "Man, the weight of the world is on my shoulder. I don't know how I'm gonna pay this bill, man. I don't know how I'm gonna do this, that, and the third." And when they transparent and vulnerable, "Oh man, you a sucker, man. Don't be sitting up there crying." I'm thankful. I'm not saying people that move in a specific way like that, I'm not saying they wrong. I just know, or I just feel for me, there's a balance to that, and you gotta have a healthy way to vent that frustration, to vent those emotions. Now, the truth of the matter is, once you vent it, man, let that junk out and let it go.
Mm.
Let it go. And once it's gone, right? So, like for me, when, like I tell y'all, one of the worst times, one of the worst breakups I had was in Detroit. And I had moved to Detroit from Atlanta, spent 20 years in Atlanta, built a very comfortable life for myself in Atlanta. Moved to Detroit on one premise, it ended another way, right? And I went through a spiral of depression for about 6 months. I could not see the light at the end of the tunnel. I did not see myself coming out, right? But I had some brothers, and they were in a whole another state, two different states. One of them, one of them told one of my guys. He told one of my other boys. He said, "Man, I'm worried about D, man. I'm worried. I think he gonna do something." And I was never to that point, but he's, "Man, I think he gonna do something to himself." And he said, "Nah, he just need to bump his head enough times. He'll be all right once he get through bumping his head. He know better, right?" And when he told me that, it almost like something clicked, right? But I was deliberate and diligent about the moments where I needed to have a moment and process that pain and that hurt and that disappointment. I had that moment. And when I came out of it, I came out better and not bitter, strengthened and not strangled, right? And that is the balanced message that we got. We got to be able to, JR, to your point, we got to be able to tell these young bloods, "Hey, man, listen, you got to do these things for your family. You got to do this, you got to do this, you got to do this, you got to do this. But you also can't pour from an empty cup. You also got to restore and replenish yourself. You also got to take time to recover. You also got to take time to have somebody pour into you, right? Because you can't pour into other people if you're pouring from an empty cup. So who replenishes us when we down and out? That's why that brotherhood is so important, and that's why I say in these, well, this is October now. So in these 7 months that I've been exposed, or 8 months that I've been exposed to this platform and this manosphere, so like I've been learning so much, and this is one of the reasons why we need to continue having these conversations, man.
Yeah, I agree. I think a lot of us suffer from a Superman complex. Like at one point, it used to hurt me to tell people no when they ask me for things. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm just so used to, "Hey, bro, can here you go, here you go, here you go. What you need? I got you, I got you, I got you." Because I feel like I'm the man and I'm the backbone of this and I'm the center of this universe. And without me, this shit ain't gonna go. But it wasn't until I learned how to say no to where I start getting some kind of peace. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of us just walk around with that Superman complex, man. And the wild part is that when it's not returned to us, and at first it don't really bother us. It's cool, but after a while, when you start thinking about it, when you really analyze a lot of your friendships and sit back and realize how one sided they are, like you could end up taking it out in a toxic way on them people. It's the same thing, just like you saying, like it's good to have that circle to be able to vent to, because I think that's what a lot of our young dudes do in terms of like getting that frustration out. They do it in, you know, in toxic ways. Whether it's out here fighting, I'm out here shooting people, I'm out here doing drugs, I'm out here doing whatever the case may be. And a lot of that stuff could have been avoided just with a simple conversation. Bro was just going through something. And he in the club chilling, somebody bumped him, and now that situation is escalated to a whole nother level just because he didn't go have that conversation with somebody and just get whatever he was going through off his chest. He just bottled it up, bottled it up, bottled it up. So the small stuff make somebody jump smooth off the handle. You know what I'm saying? Now he in a shootout in the club over something that could have been, bro, hey, my bad. Kept it pushing, and he could have went on about his night, but because he didn't get that off his chest, it didn't exploded in a toxic way. And it's the same thing with relationships. Like a lot of men, we sweep a lot under the rug, that be bothering us, that be getting to us, whatever the case may be. And it's just because I'm the leader, I'm the man of this family. You know what? I ain't tripping. I'm gonna keep going. But at some point, we can only take so much, and it's gonna get to a boiling point. And when it do, and we explode on our girl, or we explode on our kid, on our mama, on our sister, on whoever the case may be, because we've been holding all that in. Now we done created a whole different set of problems. So, you know, Rilla is 1,000% right. You got to find somebody to talk to, somebody, even if it
But
ain't a
Trill,
therapist, a homeboy, whatever.
Trill, and JR, tell me this. What about, so you mentioned relationships. What about women though? Do women today give the opportunity, space, latitude to men to be what we're talking about right now? Or are women expecting men to be masculine at all times and to be the protector at all times and to be Superman at all times? And the moment that you show some vulnerability, that kind of looks to women, you know, I'm talking by and large. I'm talking in generality here. Like, oh man, that's just, I don't need no weak sucker like that. I don't want no man like, I don't want no beta like that. I need my man to be strong at all times so he can protect me. What about that in relationships? And is that space available for relationships these days, especially with the climate of the Black relationships of today?
In most relationships, hell no, it's not. Like, men don't get to express our concerns or express our, you know what, my boy Kenny said something that was very profound the other day. He said, women don't mind you being vulnerable until they are the reason for your suffering, or they are the issue that you are to be vulnerable about. And that was very profound to me when he said it. And I was like, you're right. Because you can sit there and talk to your woman about your hard day at work. You can sit there and talk to your woman about issues you got going on with the gang or your boys, whatever the case may be. But you try and sit her down and tell her something she doing wrong.
Uh-oh.
It gets flipped immediately. Oh, well, you not doing this, or I'm acting this way because of you or something you know what I'm saying? So it ain't no safe space for us in most relationships for us to voice our concerns or give constructive criticism without getting our head bit off. And that's why a lot of dudes just bottle stuff in.
Damn.
Wow. What you think about that, Rilla?
Man, I can't touch that. That was discernment right there, bro.
Yeah.
Bro, women give space for men to be vulnerable until it's about her.
So she's the cause for your suffering.